Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started here by priming my face. I'm using the e.l.f. Tone Adjusting Primer here. And I'm just going to apply that all over my skin. Just like this. I clean my face in the tub, and that's typically what I do. Like in the shower, I just clean my skin with like a foaming cleanser or some kind of whatever I'm using for this week, because I do like to change up my skincare routine just so my skin doesn't get too used to everything. I have, sorry about that, I have two different options that I do. So whatever one I'm using, that's what I go ahead and do in the shower or when I get out, whatever I decide to do. That way my skin is nice and clean and ready for a primer. Okay, so now that the primer is on and it's soaked into my skin a little bit, I'm now going to apply my foundation. Yes, I do my foundation before my brows, so let's get started with that. The foundation I'm using today is the Urban Decay All Nighter Foundation, and it is in the shade 4 or 4.0. So yeah, I use 2 pumps. And then I go ahead and apply it with a damp beauty blender. Now I typically like to clean my sponge before every time I do my face. And this is clean, it is a little stained, but this is as clean as it's gonna get for me. So this is what I use. And I go ahead and apply little dots everywhere all over my face and go ahead and dab that in. And this is just the first layer. I do a second layer for full coverage. And I have a lot of redness, so this tends to cancel it out, and it matches so nicely. I really, really, really love this foundation. I can't say it enough. It's my go-to foundation. I won't switch ever again. This is a foundation that works for me for all seasons, all weather. So this is what I'm sticking to. And I'm just patting this into the skin. Kind of sliding this first layer around, making sure I cover everything, you know, a thin layer everywhere. Make sure you go down your neck with that. I do cover my lids just because I want it all to look nice and even. Now with the rest here, I'm going to go ahead and start my second layer, and this one is patting only. I'm patting this in my skin so I get that nice flawless look. I want a full coverage look all the time. I do this every day. I used to do drugstore foundations, like on like an everyday basis type thing, but then I switched to this because I just love the flawless full coverage look all the time. And my redness got a lot worse, like especially in the winter time, it gets a lot worse. So I just went ahead and stuck with this. So it is a little expensive. This foundation is $40, but it lasts me, I want to say it lasts me 3 months, maybe. Just depends on how often I'm doing my makeup. Some months, obviously, you're doing your makeup more. I don't wear makeup every day. If I don't have to, I don't put it on for no reason. You know what I mean? Like I don't put it on just to sit around the house. But if I'm planning on going somewhere, if I leave the house, I put it on. Unless I'm going just to like the corner store or the dollar store or just right up to Walmart really quickly or wherever I'm going, just really quickly, I won't put it on. But if I'm gonna be out for a couple hours, I'm gonna go ahead and put on a face. Just to look presentable for myself. It makes me feel nice walking around with nice, beautiful skin. Okay, so that's all in there. And excuse my hair, it's in its crazy, natural, wild state. So, for my concealer, this is my go-to concealer. This is the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and I'm in the color Fair Beige. And I'm almost out of this guy. I'm so sad. And I apply it right under my eyes, down my nose, forehead, Cupid's bow, and chin. Make sure I get all of that. And I look like a crazy person. And now I'm just gonna blend this in. So I take the opposite side of my beauty blender and I will blend that in. The nose and all of this area here is mainly just for highlighting and brightening. Obviously the under eyes for brightening as well, but I am also trying to conceal bags or whatever. If you have wrinkles, if you have problem areas. Obviously if you have problem areas, you want to use a closer to your skin tone color concealer, but I'm just brightening. So this is fine for me. I do bring it up a little high, and then with the other end that I applied my foundation with, I will go ahead and smooth out those edges just so everything looks blended, nice and flawless. So that's one side. Okay, so now that everything's applied, I'm gonna take that opposite end and go ahead and go around everything with whatever foundation is left in the sponge and just kind of blend it out. I will take the leftover concealer and go over my lids just to kind of, you know, give them a nice little base to work with when it comes to my shadow. Okay, so the next thing I'm gonna do is set my face, and I use the Coty Airspun. This is a loose face powder. I know some people, there's hit and misses with different people. You kind of just have to try it for yourself and, you know, judge it that way. I use the translucent one, and you can get this at any store pretty much. I get mine at H-E-B, but I think that's only Texas. It's like a Texas store, so. But yeah, I just tip it over, 3 little pats, and then my product is right there in the lid. This is enough for my face, setting my contours, everything. So what I typically do with my concealed areas, I will take that bigger end of my Beauty Blender. I'm gonna push some of this product over because I don't want too much. And I'm going to set my eyes by pressing in with the Beauty Blender. Anywhere that I put concealer, I'm going to press in that powder. Just because I want that concealer to grab onto that powder and stay a little bit longer. And I'm also gonna pack it around my nose. Okay, so for the rest of my face, I'm gonna use a Morphe fluffy brush here. And then I'm going to bring a little bit more product into the center there. And I'm gonna lightly dust the rest of my face. Okay, obviously if you don't like the matte look, you're not gonna like the way this looks, but I like it, so. I do look a little pale and a little dead right now, but I am gonna bronze and contour and stuff like that, so it will look a little bit more lively. But first, I'm going to do my brows. Okay, so for my brows, I use 3 products. I use the e.l.f. eyebrow eyelash mascara, the clear mascara. Obviously it's red because I do my brows red. So I use that, and I use both ends for my brows. I don't use clear mascara on my lashes. But to fill in my lashes, because my hair is colored, I also like to do colored brows. Every now and then I'll do a regular like brown brow, like my natural hair color is brown. So I'll do a brown brow, but for the most part I use this NYX Blonde. It's the NYX Brow Gel in the shade Blonde. I did bleach and color my brows red. They are starting to grow out, so they're not as red anymore, but yeah, so this is what they look like as of right now. I also use this Morphe 350M palette, and I use this red shade right here to fill my brows in. Okay, so the tools that I'm going to be using are these 3 brushes. I have a spoolie. In the middle here, I have a Morphe angled brush, and on the end here, I have a e.l.f. angled brush. The Morphe one is more fluffy, and the e.l.f. is more condensed, and that's what I use to apply the gel. So I put the gel in the back of my hand here, if you can see that little bit right there. And I'm first going to smooth out my brows. And then I'm going to go ahead and, ooh, sorry about the mirror there. apply some brow gel. I let this brow gel sit a little bit too long, so it's kind of froze up on me. Like, it kind of got a little solid, so I have to play with it a little bit to get it warmed up again. But usually when you buy it brand new, you don't have to do that. So I just follow my natural brow. Just go ahead and start creating the shape that I want. Nothing crazy today. Usually I do, well, not usually, but like for special occasions, date night, stuff like that, I will do a more dramatic brow. But for every day, I just do like a natural, more tame brow. So, all right. So that's what that brow looks like. Now I'm going to go in, I do one brow at a time. Now I'm gonna go in with that Morphe, that red color, and I'm going to fill that in. This takes a little bit of time, obviously, because you can only pick up so much product at a time. When I get to my front, I don't add that much extra product. And yes, my brows are squared off. That's just how they are. That's how I like them. That's how I've always worn them. I'm comfortable with my brows like that. And I know some people out there hate that they're not faded in the front, or that they're not this or that or whatever. This is how I like my brows. So I'll do that. And I don't do the concealer around the brows. Not unless I'm doing something with my eye, like really dramatic, and I'll put concealer on my lid and I'll touch up the bottom of my brow, but for every day, I don't do it. And then I just go ahead and I take that brow gel, both ends work fine, and I just go over that. But be very gentle, because you do have shadow on your brows and it will pull off if you rub too hard. So that's one brow. All right, so both brows are finished now. They're done. Okay, so I figured I would go ahead and show you how I contour and everything really quickly, and then that'll be the end of this video. I'm not gonna do a full face or anything because I've done 2 of those so far, and I don't wanna like bore you guys with doing that too much. So my go-to favorite contour is from the Graveyard Girls Swamp Queen palette, the collab with Tarte that she did. If you watch Bunny on YouTube here, then you've already seen this. I love her Sweet Tea bronzer. It is my favorite. I hope they come out with one in a full size and a permanent line, because I love it. So I just grab a little on this Shany Cosmetics fluffy brush, and I pinch the brush a little bit, not too much, and I go from the inner part of my ear here down. Create that line, and then I fluff it out. Bring it up a little bit. Okay. Same on this side. And then I just take, it looks a lot brighter than what it actually is. Then I take some of that Airspun and just touch it up here a little bit. I'm gonna let that sit for just a minute while I contour my nose. And I believe I've showed this in a video also. This is the e.l.f. contouring brush. It's perfect for your nose. I don't like the flat side for contouring here because it doesn't blend out as well. But for my nose, it's just right. I'm just gonna blend that out. And I'm gonna set that really quickly. Just a little bit of powder right down the middle. Let that sit for a second. Then I'm going to take some more of that sweet tea. I'm going to bronze just up here on my forehead, ever so slightly. Like that. Now I can go ahead and take a Morphe fluffy brush, the same one I applied that face powder with. And go ahead and blend that out. And that's what my contour looks like. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed my base, foundation, and contour and brow tutorial. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, but this is how I do it, and I hope it was helpful for you guys. So yeah, give this video a thumbs up if you like what you saw. Subscribe if you want to see more. It really, really helps my channel grow. And if you have any suggestions or constructive criticism, just leave it down below. I'm always up for helpful tips and tricks. So yeah, I will just see you guys in the next video. Okay, so this is how the look ended up coming out. I used the Jeffree Star Scorpio lippy. I really like it. So yeah, yeah, that's it. That's pretty much everything. Like this video if you liked it and you want to see more. Subscribe because it really helps my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.